Hey everyone, and welcome to The Cricket Corner. This is episode number 8. Today is the 9th of August, and my God, cricket has dried up. Aaron?
No more cricket anymore.
I think the summer is gone. The cricket in England is gone.
International cricket.
International cricket
Yes.
is gone. There's still T10 happening in the UK, the 100. Well, sorry, they call it the 100. I should call it what they call it. Maybe this is the last year they're playing this. But yeah, the cricket season has kind of dried up a little bit here in the UK, at least international, in the terms of international sense. There'll be a few ODIs, but not at the moment. They're just taking a break. So we'll try and keep this one quite short. Not much to talk about. There's always stuff to talk about with India, so we'll do that for sure. But I think apart from India, I think there isn't much going on. There's the Asia Cup that's going to happen, and you're going to obviously go and watch India-Pakistan. Have you got tickets?
Not yet. I think they haven't released the tickets yet.
Are you going on holiday this week?
You're going on holiday soon.
So we might be taking a little break from the podcast. We'll try and do a special one live from Pakistan. No, sorry, I mean Sri Lanka. That's where the Asia Cup's going on. But live from Pakistan versus India, we'll have a hot news reporter, Aaron, right there, talking to the people, hopefully. Let me know if you have any questions. We can ask any questions you want to the crowd. We'll get Aaron in and see what kind of chat we can gather there. But yeah, should we just get straight into it? Because there's not much really happening in England. I mean, there is. We should talk about one thing that is going on in England. That's the One Day Cup that's going on. And a special mention to someone who's travelled all the way from India to play as a batsman, Prithvi Shaw.
Prithvi Shaw. People almost forgot his name, So
I think people forgot his name as quickly as his hairline has been lost.
So he just played a knock, so people can
just remember him. How many did he score?
He scored 244 in a one-day game.
Wow.
In 155 balls or something.
Blimey. That's a lot of runs.
11 sixes as well.
Wow. So, they say Indians should come over in England and play because the conditions are difficult. I guess white ball is not very difficult to play with.
I feel, most of the county players, they're all playing the 100.
Yeah.
So, maybe, the teams are not as strong as they
still
should be.
Still
a good standard, yeah.
Still a good standard, but
to
score
244.
That's my entire 10-season score.
But this guy, man, we all know, right? He's a genius. He's a talent. People have been talking about Prithvi Shaw for the last 10 years, 15 years in Mumbai.
Since they won the World Cup.
Even
Since
before,
so I think he was. Did he captain the India team when they won the World Cup under 19 World Cup? And since then, I think after that he got a lot of exposure in the IPL. A lot of teams played him, opened with him. Obviously, he played for India as well. He's opened for India. He's opened for India and Australia. So he's had a lot of opportunities to play for India. Unfortunately, some outside extracurricular activities have gotten him into some trouble, but as a cricket player he's been in a very okay state, shall we say, and I think he's come over outside of India to just get outside of the limelight and just focus on cricket, and it's great to see that he's scored a double century.
Yeah, good to see him come to England, and play. I feel if he just concentrate on cricket, he's going to be a star.
So do you think Prithvi Shaw will play for India again?
I hope so, because we can't miss that kind of talent, especially with...
Aaron, there's only 11 players that can...
Yeah, you know why? Because soon Kohli and Sharma, these guys will retire.
Yeah.
And we need players, good players who can replace them, and he's that type of a guy. He's the type of guy who can be the next Rohit Sharma, So I hope he plays for India again, and it's good to see him back in form.
Yeah. I think I agree with you. That's what's happened here in the UK. Not much else. Prithvi Shaw scored a double century. We're very happy for him. There is some domestic cricket going on and some 100 cricket going on, but it might be the last year, like I mentioned already, for the 100 anyway. So let's see how that ends up. Some other news, just some offbeat news. Pakistan Cricket have selected a new chief selector.
Inzamam
ul Haq,
Yes.
the legendary Pakistani cricketer, great batsman, most famous although for just running people out, more so than his fantastic quality of batting. He's just turned out to be the selector for Pakistan. I think we've spoken about Pakistan a lot. They're heading in the right direction, and they're putting the right people in the right places to make sure that they succeed as a cricket team.
Yeah, good to see him back. I think he was the selector before, and then he got changed. He went to Afghanistan as well, and now he's back in Pakistan. Yeah, good to see. Good to see. Always former player getting this kind of roles, and yeah, Pakistan cricket is heading on the right direction.
Talking about Pakistan cricket, Shoaib Malik has decided that he wants to play T20 again for Pakistan.
He won't to play for like a number of years now. He hasn't retired. They just don't want to select him. So that's another.
I don't think they're going to select him.
No.
I think he's had a fantastic career, and he should just stop it. Just don't.
Just play the leagues.
So that's what's happened outside in general news, outside of just cricketing news. Okay, what are we going to talk about? What else has been going on?
The T20 series in West Indies.
Oh, yeah. So India's still in West Indies.
Still
or
in West
America,
Indies,
shall we say?
They're playing three. They played already 3 in the West Indies, and then now they're going to Florida for the next 2.
Wow. They're going to play on AstroTurf.
No. No. It's been a good series so far. The West Indies came back really well after their defeat in the ODI series and the Test series. They won the first 2 games. A good performance from them. And India really underperformed.
They've got a mixed and match side. Obviously, Hardik Pandya is captaining the team, and they're giving everyone a good go to see how they're performing. My question is, why are they playing T20s?
Yeah, that's the question. Like everybody.
Why?
Asking.
There's the World Cup happening in about 3 months' time. Why are you wasting everyone's time? Like no one. Okay, do you think someone will be picked out of this T20 squad for the one day squad?
I don't think so. There might be some players, in the waiting list if anyone gets injured.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't see too many players getting picked because of their performances in the T20I series.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's great that they're playing. I think it's going to be. There's a couple of reasons I can see why this is happening. The reason they're playing 5 ODI matches, sorry, not even ODI, 5 T20 matches, is because the World Cup is going to happen in West Indies and America next year. A lot of the players that are already in the T20 squad, Suryakumar Yadav and Pandya, plus a lot of others, will probably be in the squad next year. So it's just giving them a little bit of a taster of what they can expect, because the weather's different, the pitches are different, America's very different, humid. So just go out and test it out.
Yeah, I think it's a good preparation, but it's just a year away. So to be honest, I don't think if it's going to help them or not. Maybe it will just help them to understand the conditions and see what kind of squad they should bring when they go to the West Indies for the World Cup. But I think they should have just focused on the ODI World Cup. So
agreed. I think obviously they're resting a lot of the best players because, well, Asia Cup is starting. Shall we talk about what is the format of the Asia Cup and like?
It's 50 overs.
Yeah.
Few matches are done in Pakistan and Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
That will be the best preparation for the World Cup.
Yeah. And who's playing in it? So
it's Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Nepal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
They got, they have the Asian Cricket Council.
Yeah.
They have a pre-Asia Cup qualifier,
Yeah.
and whoever wins the tournament get qualified. For
Only
this
Nepal
Asian.
entered, so they win by default.
I think they played against
Hong Kong?
Oman, Hong Kong, or
Yeah.
this kind of side, and they won. So they're qualified. They're a good side, and I think it's good for them, to get exposed against the big teams.
Yeah, I think that's how Afghanistan started as well, right? Like they started out in the Asia Cup, and people questioned.
Afghanistan. Sorry, I forgot.
I thought you already mentioned Afghanistan,
No.
but Afghanistan obviously were given opportunities in the Asia Cup when they were starting out as a cricketing nation, and a lot of people questioned what are they doing here, waste of time. But I agree, it's great to see nations who don't normally compete with India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh to just be there, and now Afghanistan as well, right? They're going to be competing with some of the best teams in the world in this particular format. So it's a great experience for every player in the Nepalese team. I think they're going to have a great experience and great tournament. We know where they'll end up, at the bottom, but still, that's not the reason they're going. They're going for the experience, and it's going to be great for them.
Yeah, for sure. To play against Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and also Afghanistan, they're all like top sides in white ball format. So it's going to really help them, to grow their cricket.
Shall we talk about India and the squad selection for the Asia Cup?
They haven't released the squad yet, but I hope they select the same squad they're looking for the World Cup. Because now they just need to prepare for the World Cup.
There's no, I want to give someone a chance, or I want to give a look in for someone.
No, I think now this is the
Final. Yeah.
The round. So I hope we see like some of the players who are injured, like Bumrah, KL Rahul maybe.
Yes.
So
do you think, Bumrah, do you think they're going to risk? I think it's such a big risk to play Bumrah in a non-important, don't get me wrong, Asia Cup is important, but not as important as the World Cup. To play Bumrah in such a tournament.
He's going to the island.
Yeah, he's going to be the captain for the T20.
T20 series. Yeah. So you can see, where he is.
That's 4 overs, not 10.
Yeah, so that's why it's important he plays the Asia Cup.
Yeah.
Just to see, just to prove his fitness, but also to get back into that match intensity. Because these are going to be big matches. Like you can't lose to Pakistan, you can't lose to Sri Lanka, you can't lose to Afghanistan. These are.
Imagine losing all of those matches and then turning up at the World Cup and playing them again. I do think that they've picked the wrong time for the Asia Cup, because I don't want to see India-Pakistan twice, and then again a couple of months later. It's like dulling the moment for me.
If I'm not wrong, they might play 3 times if they go to the final. So we might see
3
India-Pakistan.
and then 4. Because they'll play definitely at the World Cup.
Yeah.
So
So I just hope we see fit Bumrah, fit KL Rahul, because both players are very, very important to the.
Well, that's number 11 and number 1, right? 1 and 11.
He plays number 4 KL now. He plays as a wicket keeper and number 4, number 5.
So who's going to open?
Gill is opening with Rohit.
And then Kohli?
Kohli, 4 KL, and 5 Pandya, and 6 it will be between Sky and Samson.
Sky.
And
then Jadeja?
Then Jadeja.
Ashwin?
No, I don't think Ashwin will be in the squad.
Chahal?
So I feel it will be
either
Chahal
really
or
well?
Kuldeep.
Kuldeep played really well.
And Aksar as well. I think he will be in the mix.
If Aksar plays, then that's 2 lefties in terms of bowling anyway. Jadeja and Aksar, and then that's 2. Pandya is going to bowl 5 overs. Let's hope.
You have
4
Siraj
overs. Bumrah.
And then you need another spinner, either Kuldeep if you want a spinner, or Chahal, or if you want a medium pacer, I feel they will go for Shardul Thakur.
I think they're going to go for Shardul Thakur.
Depending on the pitch and the conditions, yeah.
So I think that, you're right. So let's say we start with Rohit Sharma, number 1. Number 2?
Gill.
Number 3?
VK.
Who's VK?
Virat Kohli.
4?
4 will be KL Rahul.
5?
5, it will be Hardik Pandya. And number 6 would be Sky.
Okay, so we've got the top 6. They're not going to move. They're always going to be the same. Any condition, any World Cup, Asia Cup match.
I feel that's it. They should be the top 6 for this Asia Cup and also for the World Cup.
Jadeja?
number 7. Then you get the bowlers.
Okay, so then 8, 9, 10, 11. 4 spaces. Obviously, Bumrah is number 11. Number 10 is...
Siraj.
So then do you want to... Let's say you go for a Shardul Thakur for...
I will go for the 2 spinners.
2.
Yeah, so the squad
Akshar
has
Patel
Akshar
or
Patel.
Kuldeep. Maybe they'll probably go with a leg spinner over Akshar Patel because Jadeja's already lefty.
The problem then, we have no batsman after Jadeja, so then it becomes a big tail.
No, Thakur will play. If Thakur is playing, he's a batsman, all-rounder, right? So that gives you a really long tail, 7, 8. Only 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, but we are playing in Asian conditions, so 4 medium pace bowlers, I feel it's a bit too much. So I would like to see 3 medium pace and 3 spinners.
If we compare that to the time India won the World Cup, what was the bowling lineup? Zaheer Khan,
Ashish Nehra and Munaf Patel. And then we are
Munaf Patel is got to be Shardul Thakur.
And then we are the only advantage we had before, most of our batsmen used to bowl. Like Raina used to bowl.
Yeah.
Yuvraj used to bowl. Sehwag, Sachin.
We have Hardik Pandya, who's a seamer, which I guess is better. So you could probably drop Thakur and have another spinner in there as a out and out spinner.
That would be a better combination for India because Akshar can bat. He's a good fielder as well. So we have 3 spinners and we have 3 medium pacers and then the 6 batsmen.
There you go. That's the 11 for you. The Indian 11 for the Asia Cup and the World Cup.
That's our 11, yeah.
And hopefully they win both of the tournaments. I think that squad looks really solid. I think the problem I have is, what if Bumrah gets injured? Who do you pick instead of Bumrah?
Shami will play if Bumrah is injured, and we need to find another medium pace bowler. So that's going to be a big worry for India. Not only in terms of the 11. But also we don't have any backup so far.
I can't believe that in a nation of 1 billion people we have not got a backup.
Yeah, that's one issue. Second issue is death bowling. Our death bowling is really bad at the moment.
So you're missing a player which has not been mentioned, and he's playing in the county circuit at the moment. He's a bowler, and he's an Indian bowler who plays T20 for India a lot. Arshdeep.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll be in the squad?
I feel it could be a good replacement for Bumrah if he's injured.
But do you think he won't be in the squad from this round?
I don't think he would be in the squad because you're only allowed for a 15-player squad. And
that's not many.
That's not many, and you need a backup keeper. You need
who's the backup keeper?
It will be
Samson.
Ishan Kishan, I feel. Yeah. Unfortunately, I feel Samson will not be selected
at all
for the World Cup. Yeah, I feel.
Wow.
Because it will be between Samson and Sky, and
Sky will win.
They will select Sky.
Unless it's a bit. He did wear the Samson T-shirt in the West Indies, so maybe they'll confuse it.
The thing with Samson, when it comes to ODI, he did well in the chances he got, but he never, set the stage on fire. He never scored like a big 100 or a match-winning performance.
It's difficult when you have to perform. Not many players can do that. In the IPL, he has the ability. He's the captain. He knows he's never going to be dropped. He's always going to be number 1 on the team sheet. He can just go out and perform and be fine. Whereas playing for India, first of all, he's not getting many opportunities. So when the opportunities does come around, like it has in West Indies for him in the T20s as well, he's scoring 7 runs, 8 runs, 30 runs. That's it. It's not good.
The difference as well is not playing at his position for India. When he plays in the IPL, he used to open or play number 3. But for India, he mainly plays like number 5 or number 6. So it's a different position. But when you talk about Sky or Ishan Kishan, Sky has like 3 or 100s in T20 cricket. So, people don't forget this kind of performances.
No.
So same thing for Ishan Kishan. In one of the ODIs, he scored a 200. So, people will just keep that in mind when it comes to selection. And unfortunately for Samson, he never put that kind of a performance.
No.
But he's a good player, and unfortunately, I feel he will miss out.
Miss out. Wow, that's news. I'm just not expecting him to miss out. But there are just so many good players, and we need a better bowling backup than we do batting backup, right?
But if KL Rahul is still injured and Shreyas Iyer is still injured, and if both of them don't play the Asia Cup, then I feel there might be a chance for Samson. But
he's relying on other people to be injured in order to get in the team.
Yeah.
Never a good look, but yeah.
I feel he's a backup player.
Okay, where do you think India will end up in the Asia Cup?
Asia Cup, it's a strange one. So I'll tell you three ways, okay? When it comes to Asia Cup. If you take the history of Asia Cup,
Pakistan are winning?
No, not really. If you take the history of Asia Cup, Sri Lanka are the side, I think, who won most the Asia Cup. Mm-hmm. So they will be a dangerous side, playing as well some of the matches at home. So that if you take the actual form, I would say Pakistan.
Yeah.
They look really good. They got a good team, a lot of all-rounders. And some of them, they're playing the LPL at the moment as well.
Yeah.
So if you take form, Pakistan. If you take the names on the paper, I will say India. If all the players are there, if they're all fit, Indian team looks good.
Yeah.
So
that's, I think, the problem for India has been they've looked good for the last few World Cups as well, though, and they have just not performed.
Yeah, it's the big issue was the middle order batting.
You think that's resolved now with KL Rahul coming in at 4?
He's been doing really well for the last few years.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good move that India made, moving him to the number 4. And Hardik Pandya as well, I feel is a much better batsman now.
Yeah.
So it's like he plays like a proper batsman. And another guy we don't mention often is Jadeja.
Yeah.
He's one of our best batsmen so far. And he's a left-hander as well. So I feel even sometimes they could send him at number 4.
Yeah.
Number 4.
I think there was so many chopping and changing that happened in the 2011 World Cup in India. Yuvraj would go up, or Raina would go up, or Dhoni would come up. So there were lots of chopping and changing that happened, and hopefully they're flexible in that. But that would depend on the coaching and Rohit Sharma's attitude to how they want to go and tackle different positions and conditions.
Yeah, one thing I feel, if you take the previous ICC tournaments, before those tournaments, India were winning all the bilateral series, but they were doing not great at the ICC
at the World
tournaments.
Cup. Yeah.
But this time they're not doing very well on the bilateral tournaments, so
they're
hope.
Losing everything.
Win
so
the
let's
World
hope. Well, one can always hope, right? So you think Sri Lanka and Pakistan have a good chance of winning the Asia Cup?
Yeah, I feel that Sri Lanka and Pakistan have a good chance as well to win the Asia Cup.
Yeah.
And I feel Pakistan is going to be a dangerous side even in the World Cup. I'm really impressed.
Imagine winning the World Cup for Pakistan in India.
That would be big. I think
that's going to ruin India.
I think that's what Pakistan is aiming for, and
well, they're actually they don't want to go to India. That's not what they're like. Can you give me this and this paper, and I just make sure I have security, and which they will, of course. It would be a shame. It wouldn't be a real World Cup without Pakistan in the World Cup.
No, Pakistan will play. One thing though for Pakistan, the way the scheduling is done in this World Cup, it's not like 2 groups and the
it's
top
all
to qualify.
one group. Everyone plays, right?
That means you have to be consistent. You have to win.
I think that's like an old way of putting. Pakistan have previously been inconsistent at times, but I don't think they're like that right now.
Come on,
You're telling me they're going to lose to Afghanistan or Scotland?
They can. You remember in the last World Cup they lost against Zimbabwe in the T20, and they were almost out of the World Cup.
That is correct.
And then South Africa helped them by losing to South Africa. So that will always stay with Pakistan cricket. Otherwise, I will be surprised if they are consistent. For me, that's not Pakistan cricket.
No, I agree. I think it's just always fun to see that side of.
That's what makes the beauty
history.
of Pakistan cricket, very unpredictable.
You can watch, like we've mentioned, Inzamam ul Haq's run out, or the keeping from Kamran Makmal or whoever it is, and it's just some comedy gold basically.
And then suddenly they turn up and then they just beat everyone.
Beat you.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to happen at the Asia Cup. I agree with you. I think it's going to be a close one. It's going to be a great competition just before the World Cup to see where everyone's at. I think for India, they just need to go out there with the injured players, slowly play them into form. More so the batsman than the bowler. Bumrah doesn't really need to play into form. He needs to bowl a few overs, but he has the skill and the knack to just go out there and get wickets and keep an end tight at the end of the 50 overs. So I think that is key for India. They need to just go out there, play their best players, and hopefully get their players who are injured back up to speed.
Yeah. Even if they don't win the Asia Cup, it will be just good to see everyone, just spend some time and hit some form before the World Cup. That will be the main thing for India. The main goal will be the World Cup, but still they will try to do well in the Asia Cup, I'm sure. And it's going to be exciting.
Great. That's it from us. I think we've covered as much as we could in a 30-minute space, talking about India and Pakistan and India and Pakistan. That's basically this podcast. There isn't really much cricket going on. I think India will hopefully win in West Indies, the last two T20s. We didn't really speak about that because unlike the Indian organisation, we know the World Cup's coming and it's a 50-over World Cup, so I don't know why they're playing T20. So that's us. Thank you for listening to us. There's going to be a little bit of a break from me and Aaron. We're both away for a bit. Aaron is going to watch India-Pakistan, so we'll definitely have some coverage there.
I'll try, yeah.
And we'll hopefully see you in the next one.